Hey guys, I thought I'd do a quick video about our 1990 Toyota Corolla Rallycross car. We've been driving this car with Tarheel Sports Car Club for two and a half years now. We got a lot of seat time in the car, found some things that work, some things that don't, so we wanted to go through some of the mods to the car with you guys and why we think they're important. So, Rallycross car, first things first, suspension. These struts and springs are from a later model from 93 to 97 Toyota Corolla. OEs don't like to re-engineer everything, so the mounts and the knuckles all bolted on. We were able to do a direct swap and gain about 15 to 20% spring increase as well as an increase in damping. We lucked out again. KYB sells an adjustable kind of entry-level performance damper for the front that have a little adjustability. We're able to turn those up to 3 out of 4 on their damping adjustment. It's a combined compression and rebound adjustment. Who knows how accurate it is, but it really helps the front feel a little more planted. What's more important is it absorbs a lot of the bumps and jumps that normally would disturb the chassis a whole bunch. So we're able to focus on steering, keep the wheels on the ground, and put the power down to the dirt. Speaking of motor, for a season or two halves of 2 seasons, we were running with the stock 1.6 liter fuel injected dual overhead cam 4A FE. Those motors are getting harder to find without extreme mileage on them. Plus it was very lacking in the bottom of second gear. It was probably our example of that motor, but we did do some homework and found out that the 1.8 from the later model Corolla will basically bolt right in. It was a lot of wiring, but I had the whole winter last winter to sit down, tie some wires around my ears, and get the swap sorted out. So we have the 7A FE, the 1.8 liter, still a dual overhead cam. Very, very similar motor. Comes with a few benefits such as 15 more foot-pounds of torque, a little bit more modern, so we could find a lower mileage example. And as well, this motor is OBD2, so I can pull codes on a reader if anything is going on with it. The front has complete poly bushings on the control arms, new ball joints, all that jazz. The rear we haven't really touched. Obviously this is a front wheel drive car. We really just need the rear to track and stay on the ground. No sway bars on the car, no chassis bracing. The going advice currently floating around our club is let the chassis flex, let the suspension flex, let the tires touch the ground as much as possible to put that power down and help pull you down the straights and through the corners. We can deal with a little bit of body roll if that means that the inside tire is actually on the ground. We have some poly mounts all around in the engine bay. Those are from an awesome company called Mad Poly. One of the only manufacturers that still makes some performance bushings for this old chassis. Early on in this car's career, we had a couple axle failures. I think we could attribute that to the driveline kind of rotating and bouncing around inside of the chassis. So the poly mounts really stiffened that up and helped us out a lot. All in all, this motor and gearbox combination is working superb for us. We have a lot more torque in the bottom of second gear, which really helps out in some of those slow corners. I personally don't like to downshift. I don't think 90s hardware handles it all that well, and I don't know that the time spent shifting is better than staying in gear and waiting for the torque to come on. Steering is largely stock. This is the steering rack from the later model Corolla as well. It just happened to be in better condition. I think we have 2.5 turns or 2.75 turns lock to lock. The important thing is we found some poly bushings for that as well, along with freshening up the linkages from the rack. The poly bushings help plant the rack on the car. A lot of OEs put some pretty loose bushings there so the rack can move around if you're getting feedback from the tires. Well, as race drivers, we want that feedback in the steering wheel so we know what the tires are doing. Specifically off-road, when the tires are moving around and sliding a lot, we want to feel the understeer. We want to feel the brake lock up. So that was really important to us in getting some fidelity in the steering wheel. The inside of the car, this is a smaller 16-inch Grant wheel. I feel that it helps with just in general flailing your arms all about chasing one of these larger 90s OE wheels. Keeping your body centered in the chassis is also really important. We only have the lap belt part of an adjustable 5-point harness, and we have found that that's really enough to keep your butt in the chair and keep you from flying around the cockpit. We do have a cheap aftermarket racing seat. The logo has long worn off, but that doesn't stop it from holding our body still. We do have a skid plate under the front of the car. It is totally not professional. It is just a piece of aluminum screwed up to some convenient places. We felt it was necessary because of the giant dents in the oil pan from the old motor that came out. So definitely cheap insurance to protect what's under the hood, keep all the fluids inside the engine, etc. Last but not least, tires. We still drive this car to events. We drive on these street tires, and we swap out to rally tires when we get there. Now you may notice these rally tires look a lot like a winter tire or a snow tire. That's because they are. It has been our personal experience that real non-DOT legal rally tires are actually super duper heavy. For a small lightweight car like this, unsprung weight kind of makes all the difference in the world. Again, we're talking about getting those tires touching the ground. These have held up really well. We're halfway through this season and they basically still look new. I'm starting to see a little bit of chunking on there, but I think we'll easily make this whole season out of it, maybe half of next one. We'll have to see. To combat the debeating, we do run our snow tires above 40 PSI. Depending on the site, we might go as high as 44 PSI. That's kind of a cheap insurance thing. I would much rather have a good time racing and lose a couple tenths of a second because my tires are a little overinflated than debead, have to go back to the pits and end up with street tires on the car during my competition runs. We get a lot of questions about the art on the car. A good friend of mine and I, who helped me develop this car, he was inspired by Initial D, the anime racing show about drifting through the mountains. So he went hog wild with a marker. I think it looks really fun, it turns a lot of heads, and it does end up looking pretty cool in pictures, in my humble opinion. But of course, I love this car. Overall, the car is really phenomenal to drive now. I'm super happy with it, and I don't think there's that many more mods planned for the future. We'll continue to replace wear items, preparing a spare drivetrain, maybe with some gearing changes, maybe a little cylinder head work. Nothing super crazy. I think this is all the motor that this car needs. So guys, that's the quick and dirty with the Cuban Corolla. Before we go, I want to show you one last thing. Yeah, this is our trophy from last season. With a lot of help from friends, specifically the guy that helped me develop this car, and a special thanks to the club for putting on events and making just everything so smooth and such a blast. It really is an affordable form of racing. But yeah, we kept showing up, we kept the car running by force, and we got a medal for it. This is first place in NU2 for 2024. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you out there at the track.